from the First Street Studios in South Tampa, Florida, it's time for another round of Last Call 76 with your hosts, Dan, Jay, and behind the camera, the one and only Jess.
You both are pretty good with music, right?
Yes.
Who sang that song, Some Guys Have All the Luck? Some guys have all the luck. Some guys have all the fame. You know that song, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I can't remember. It'll hit me in a minute.
It'll get us after this video. Jessica, you know that song, right? Okay. Anybody that's listening, just fill it in the comment section below if we don't get it by the end. The Pittsburgh Steelers seem to be that team that has all the luck. They got the proverbial horseshoe where it counts.
Oh, really?
And you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking hanging around their neck.
Right.
Pittsburgh needs all the balls to fall in their place to make the playoffs. Everything falls their way. They're in the playoffs again. They get Buffalo in Buffalo. Now, Buffalo they have looked pretty sloppy this year, Dan, but do the Steelers have the ammunition to beat them?
You know, I would tell you this. I love Coach Tomlin. And he's gone through the quarterback carousel himself this year. I mean, let's be honest. Pickett has not delivered. They love him there because he played at Pitt, right?
Yeah.
But now, Trubisky, for Christ's sakes, he was I didn't mean that.
No, you're good. You get your one swear jar.
But Trubisky blows my mind. Dude's on like a $15 million deal to Pittsburgh. A number one draft pick. I mean, stunk it up bad in Chicago, right? Over Mahomes as a pick, right? And who was the other one?
Even Deshaun Watson. Even Watson's a stomach. That's still a good quarterback.
So I think where we're at in this whole situation is Trubisky should have been the guy that could have came in and delivered the goods for that amount of money. The guy's just a dud. I mean, I put Trubisky probably in the biggest flop ever as a first round quarterback.
Really?
We'll talk that in another show. I mean, it's embarrassing the way he plays. And now we're going with Rudolph. So do I think they have the ammunition right now to win this game over Buffalo? Absolutely not. Take the cold weather out of it because they both play in that. They're both open stadiums, same temperature pretty much, right? There's not going to be much of an advantage or disadvantage there. I think Steelers has the advantage on defense. Offensively, though, if they don't shorten the game, play clock management, you're not going to be able to throw the ball up there tonight.
Right.
I mean, Allen will find a way to do it. Right. Josh will do it, right?
Right.
It'll probably come by way of a few interceptions, but he has the ability to play big-time games.
Absolutely.
Is this a game that is a breakout game for Buffalo because they've struggled all year? Probably. Because it's a measuring stick, right? And then you're going to face some bad teams coming up, right? So I'm going to sit here and make this short for me. Love Coach Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? Not going to say anything bad. I don't think he's ever had a losing season, right?
No.
Surviving by, barely getting by. However, I just don't see it today. It's not in the cards for me. I'm going Buffalo by 8.
8. Big thing about this game, the Steelers will be without TJ Watt, who is a huge, huge impact maker on that defense.
And the leader of the team.
And the leader of the team. The Steelers' defense is really potent.
Yes.
That I will say. I've said, I don't know if it's on this show or not, but I said the Steelers do have a Super Bowl winning defense. If they had an offense that was even slightly above average, they could be dangerous.
And we've seen that in the past.
Right.
Where defenses win Super Bowls. We could go back to the Tampa Bay Super Bowl, right?
Right.
We could go back to the Ravens Super Bowl.
Right.
We could go back to the Chicago Bears Super Bowl. We know defenses can win Super Bowls.
Absolutely.
But we are in a league now that it's hard to play uphill.
Absolutely.
When you're behind on the scores in those weather conditions, I mean, you've got to shorten the game. You got to put a helmet on a helmet, and you got to play smash mouth football, especially in that weather. And I just don't think Pittsburgh has the ability.
I don't think so. And here's the thing. Buffalo, another team I don't think is Teflon. They tend to make a lot of mistakes. And I'm going to tell you, if Buffalo plays like they did against Miami last week and they have points this year, because keep in mind, they did fire Ken Dorsey during the season. They did make a change at offensive coordinator. Now,
it's helped them.
Josh Wonderkin, Joe Brady, is now running the offense there. Former LSU offensive coordinator Joe Burrow. But if they make the mistakes that they've made, somebody's going to beat them. And I love what Mason Rudolph's done. He's come in there He's gotten the opportunity, and he has absolutely made the most of it. But somebody's going to capitalize on those mistakes. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are it. I got Buffalo. I think it's going to be a lot closer, Dan. I think it's going to be frigid. I think the Steelers' smash-mouth defense, even without Watt, can make it tough. I still think they've got some bull rushers. I think they're good against the run, which will minimize what Josh Allen's biggest strength is throwing on the run and running the football. But I still think this is going to be one of those smash-mouth, ugly 10-3 games.
So you're at 7?
So I'm going to say 7, but I think it's going to be, when I say 7, I think it's going to be 10-7 or 17-10. I don't think you're going to see high scoring in this one. I think it's going to be very defensive-oriented to an extreme. I just don't think the Steelers have the horses to keep up.
Yeah. The only reason I go 8 is I think there'll be a 2-point conversion to pull away in the game.
Yep.
And it's a good number.
Okay.
You're going 7, very close on it. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. I'm saying probably 24 or less, max score. So, you do the math on it, it's probably 16 to 24.
Yeah, something like that.
It's going to be an odd score, I think, just because of the way the football is going to be played in the snow. Yeah. Lots of turnovers probably.
Yeah.
So I'm there. I'm good there. You good there?
I'm good there. Before we go, though.
Yeah.
We didn't ask her last time. She's busy, though. We'll get it back to you because I got to get her. Who's picking? Who you got in that Miami-Buffalo game? Or who you got in that Miami-Kansas City game? We'll get double deck. Who you got in Miami, Kansas City? Who you got in Buffalo, Pittsburgh?
Root for the Chiefs.
Okay, how about Pittsburgh, Buffalo?
I don't really care. I really don't, but I guess I'll say Pittsburgh.
All right, good enough.
So she's going against the grain again. But the thing is, you got to understand something. It's the old saying, any given Sunday, right? And even though it's Saturday,
right?
Well, that will be on Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
I'm throwing my personal foul right now. I'm throwing my personal foul for the month. I like Jessica Sanser. I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
So things we do give a rat's ass about is the next game we're going to break down. Your Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers up next.
This episode of Last Call was brought to you by SJP Snapshots and Minx Inc. Clothing and Apparel.